Hey, what's up everybody? It's the People's Crypto. I'm back again with another video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing why the US dollar consistently loses its value, why your purchasing power isn't what it used to be in terms of buying things with the dollar, and why you may want to make an investment in Bitcoin. Please keep in mind that this video is for entertainment purposes only. If you're looking to make any significant financial investments in any particular market, please seek guidance from a financial advisor. I would also urge you to do your own research. All right, so let's get started. All right, so this article is from thetrumpet.com. It's from 2007, but it's still relevant today. It's titled, Why the US Dollar Consistently Loses Value. Your wealth is steadily evaporating. Why doesn't the dollar stretch like it used to? The article goes on to say, ever wonder why your dollar doesn't seem to stretch as far as it used to? There's a simple explanation. It's worth less. The reason? The nation's money supply is consistently being expanded. Between 1783 and 1913, the U.S. dollar was a real store of wealth. Except during wartime periods, inflation within the United States was essentially zero. If you saved $1 in 1800, 100 years later, you could still purchase approximately the same amount of goods with your savings. But in 1913, and I'm going to get to that, something changed and the U.S. dollar started down a long, steady road of devaluations. Using the United States government's own figures to obtain the same amount of purchasing power of $100 in 1913, you would need over $2,000 today. Now, the reason why the US dollar began to devaluate a little after 1913, that's because the Federal Reserve was created. Now, if you take a look at this chart, the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. And then fast forward to 1933, the US dollar was worth, I would say, a little over 75 cents. And then fast forward to 1944, the Bretton Woods established the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. The dollar at that time was worth a little over 50 cents. I would say maybe like 54, 55 cents. And then fast forward to 1971. Richard Nixon closes the gold window, end of Bretton Woods, beginning of the modern day fiat currency system. So what happened in 1971 was Richard Nixon, the president at that time, he took the United States off the gold standard. So you couldn't exchange your dollars for gold. So gold was, the US dollar at that time, was backed by gold. After that, it was no longer backed by gold. So the Federal Reserve could print money at will. You may hear them say something called quantitative easing. That just basically means that they're going to pump more money into the current money system or money supply. So fast forward to 2013, $1 is now worth about 5 cents. So this explains why, you know, if a long time ago, if you went to a convenience store and you wanted to purchase, let's say you wanted to purchase 2 bags of chips, a juice, and a pack of gum, you could probably get all of those things for like $1. But fast forward now, if you tried to buy those same items, you probably would need at least $3 or $4 to purchase those same items. Even though they haven't changed, it's still the same amount of items in the bags of chips. Oh, maybe not. They put more air in it now, but you know what I mean. So you would still need more money to purchase the same things from just a couple years ago. That makes absolutely no sense. Another instance of, I guess you can say, inflation is if you're looking to buy a home. Buying a home, depending on the area, let's say 1995, if you wanted to buy a home, it cost about, let's say, $60,000. Fast forward today, that home that was $60,000, you're now looking at a $600,000 home, depending on what state you're looking at. But ultimately, you would need more money to purchase that same home. And that's just a result of inflation. And this can just be, you can see this widespread. That's with college education. That's with purchasing vehicles. That's with almost anything you want to purchase. Now, what sucks about that is the cost of living will consistently rise, and it wouldn't really matter how much money that you're saving. You wouldn't be able to outpace inflation. This is why some people tend to go into CDs. They would also go into maybe stocks and other investments that would somewhat help them ward off the inflation in the U.S. economy. But ultimately, you can run, but you can't hide. Inflation will get you one way or the other. Inflation is also sort of like a hidden tax. So Uncle Sam gets you one way or the other. And I want to show you this chart that illustrates it probably, I'd say, a little bit better. So $20 in 1998, it got you this shopping cart full of groceries. And then fast forward to 2005, you got a little bit less amount of groceries for that same amount, that same $20. And then 2014, that $20 bill would only get you maybe, I'm looking at maybe like 2 or 3 things in that shopping cart. And then fast forward to 2019, you can only get just the bottom portion of the shopping cart. And then 2024, it's projected that, yeah, you won't even be able to get the other half of the $20 bill. Now, if you compare that to Bitcoin at the bottom, 2011, it got you maybe with 2 or 3 items for 1 Bitcoin. And then 2013, 1 Bitcoin got you the equivalent to what you were able to get in 2005 with that $20. And then fast forward to 2014, the same amount of groceries you had in 1998 with that $20, 1 Bitcoin can now buy that same amount. And then fast forward to 2019, you can buy, I don't know how many shopping carts that is. I didn't count it, but you can get all of these groceries. And fast forward to 2024, you can just buy Costco. So essentially, you can see how inflation erodes your purchasing power. And with Bitcoin, since it's deflationary and there's only 21 million Bitcoins in existence, its purchasing power increases in value year over year, while the dollar, unfortunately, year over year, your purchasing power decreases. And, you know, the purchasing power decreases ever since 1913. So ever since they created the Federal Reserve, they've been the main culprits in destroying the dollar. While we have Bitcoin, on the other hand, which is deflationary, its monetary policy essentially is 21 million coins. No more would ever be created. So as adoption keeps occurring year over year, and as more people buy Bitcoin, this will only cause the Bitcoin price to grow in value so much to a point where 1 Bitcoin would essentially be worth maybe $1 million or potentially more. It sounds absolutely crazy, because even sometimes I think to myself that that's absurd, but you never know. It actually may occur in the future. Let's take a look at this article here. This is from June 2019, and it says, bigger than Russia, Bitcoin is now the 8th largest world currency, which is something that a lot of people don't know. So we take a look at the chart, and we have Bitcoin right here, and it's, well, even though it says 0.2 and 0.2, it's actually in front. We still have gold, Japan, China, the Eurozone nations, the United States, silver, United Kingdom, Switzerland, India. Bitcoin would be here, and then Russia, and then South Korea, Taiwan, Mexico, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Indonesia, and so on and so forth. I would really recommend all of you to get this really cool book. It explains in detail why the US dollar loses its value. I gave pretty much like a brief summary of it. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin. No relation to Peter. But I would definitely check out this book. It goes in details and explains the creation of the Federal Reserve. Some people call this a conspiracy, but I don't think it is. You be the judge after reading it. Let's take a look at the cryptocurrency prices for the day. Let me refresh this. All right, so we have Bitcoin at 9,686. Oh, excuse me, 9,690. We have Ethereum at 240.67. We have Tether at $1. XRP is at 20 cents. Bitcoin Cash is at $256.85. Bitcoin SV is at $195.18. Litecoin's at $46.92. We have Binance Coin at $17.67. EOS is at $2.83. And Cardano's at 8 cents. And Tezos is at $2.93. So the market is somewhat down. It's like half and half. But that is it. I will catch you guys later. Please visit the website, thecryptocurrencyspace.com. Also, please like this video and subscribe if you're listening to it on YouTube. If you're on Library, leave a comment and share it if you can. Thank you guys for listening and watching the video. I will see you guys later. Enjoy your weekend.